Hi guys, Chris Corey here. I'm the executive producer on Red Alert 3, and it's my pleasure to walk you through the first demo of live Red Alert 3 software with many of its graphical flourishes turned on and with unit gameplay approaching what you'll see in the final game. So here we are in virgin unexplored territory. There are reports of Allied activity in the region. Of course, we are the Soviets. And our mission is to deploy an expeditionary force, establish a beachhead, and probe the enemy. So, like any other CNC game, we start with our mobile construction vehicle, the heart of any base, and we're going to deploy that into a con yard. Every base needs power, so the next thing we'll build is a power plant. I want to note that build times have been sped up for the purposes of this demo. Of course, in the final game, buildings will not build nearly as fast. And I want to call your attention to the scaffolding that you see as we build this refinery. In Red Alert 3, the Soviet faction builds up on the map. And while the scaffolding is up, the building is under construction and vulnerable to attack. So we've built our refinery next to one of these new ore nodes. In Red Alert 3, players mine resources from harvestable ore nodes that are invincible and can be used by any faction at any time. The resource mechanic is very simple. Build one refinery, get one harvester, and that harvester can farm one ore node. It's nice and simple. So as we pan over here to the southwest, we find this little island with an observation tower on it. If we can capture that observation tower, it might provide us some valuable intel. So we're going to build a barracks, and out of that barracks, we're going to build an engineer. The engineer, of course, is a classic CNC unit that we use to capture enemy and neutral structures. We're going to run our engineer down to the beach, and with a simple contextual move command, he's going to transform into his naval equivalent. Now in Red Alert 3, not all units are amphibious, but obviously the engineer is. His amphibious form has him in a little Zodiac motorboat. We're going to run him over to that observation tower and capture it.
Building captured.
That reveals Shroud. Our radar comes online, and yikes, look at all that blue. This map is crawling with Allied forces. So the good news is we know where the Allies are. The bad news, well, I bet they know where we are too. So we need to get busy building up a force to assault that Allied base. And that starts with some additional power. We'll need a war factory. So those Allied sentry bombers appear to be taking our presence here a little personally. It definitely looks like our cover's blown. We have to get our power plants back online, but those bombers will be back if they see that we're rebuilding. We need to protect these new power plants. We're going to build a few bullfrogs. The bullfrog is the Soviets' primary troop transport. But fortunately for us, it's also armed with a powerful anti-aircraft flak cannon. This time we're ready for those sentry bombers.
Moving. Construction complete.
They won't be bothering us anymore. Okay, we need to take a look at what we're up against. We're going to create a patrol of sickles and investigate that Allied base. The sickle is this imposing spider walker. It has 3 machine guns. It's a powerful anti-infantry unit. And we're going to run it up through the city center here.
Waiting orders. Location confirmed. Moving. Changing position. Location confirmed. Moving.
Here's a whimsical Red Alert structure, the brewery. Look at that bench toppling technology. Best in RTS.
Changing position. Location confirmed.
Uh-oh. Looks like we have some Allied tanks on patrol here. We need to get out of sight, fast. We're going to use the sickle's secondary ability to leap up onto this bluff. In Red Alert 3, units at higher levels of elevation are invisible to the units below them, so we should be safe up here. It's a good thing, too. Those Allied Guardian tanks strike a flexible balance between speed, armor, and offensive punch. They would have made short work of us. So now we have a new patrol coming into range, but this time it's an infantry patrol. And remember that the sickle is an anti-infantry vehicle.
We're pinned down!
Ouch! That's going to leave a mark.
We're pinned down!
They make short work of that patrol.
Changing position.
The city is crawling with allies, so I think we're going to try a different approach.
Moving.
Let's make a break for the coast. Hopefully we can sneak into that allied base without encountering more enemy resistance.
Position. Moving.
Uh-oh. Those are assault destroyers. They're lethal to our sickles. So we need to skirt around the edge, stay out of range, and hope that they don't see us. And they have seen us. And unfortunately, they're amphibious units too. With those Guardian tanks there, we are caught between a rock and a hard place. We're screwed.
Unit lost.
And now our base is under attack. We've been so busy that we haven't done a very good job of preparing our base defenses. Those Guardian tanks are shredding those power plants, and it's not going to take long for them to finish off the base. Looks like we have to make a run for it. We've packed up our MCV, and we're making a dash towards the ocean. As you can see, the MCV is another one of our amphibious units.